For our next question with Nitin Ram. Nitin, there are usually, roughly, not exactly, those who are on this journey towards stable peace, regardless of the situation. Roughly, we can call them those who are both maybe very, very intelligent. It has nothing to do with intelligence.
Yes.
What is the primary driving factor to each? Some are driven by intellect, knowledge,
Yes.
by seeing things for themselves before accepting.
Yes.
Tasting before, they will not accept till they taste, right?
Absolutely.
That is the journey
Yes.
of what we call roughly the, let's say, knowledge driven, intellect driven.
Yes.
There is another type who may be as intelligent,
Yes.
but who are not driven by intelligence, they are driven mostly by heart or emotions.
Yes.
There also they have their own journey, but there they are perhaps more willing to trust something.
Yes.
Something, whatever that goes in them, I don't know what it may be,
What it may
but whatever it may be,
Yes.
they are willing to trust.
Yes.
Now, could you elaborate, clarify a bit more on how these two journeys go on towards stable peace? Finally, is there any, in the end, obviously both are in stable peace. That is the pudding. But in the end, are they really different? Or only begin with they are different?
This is an excellent question. As I have seen that by nature, and that's what we call it as nature. Like in my case, in case of this body, I have always seen that it was the metal with this is made as a heart driven. I found myself that this whole mechanism is heart driven ever since I am born. Similar way, there are many number of people who find themselves that their metal of manufacturing is intelligence, right? So both are kind of a two, on apparent level they appear to be exactly opposite. So in a broader sense, we call it, or the world call it, as one are believers and one are non-believers, or we say one are theist and others are atheist. I am not giving these terms in terms of a religious term. These are not a religious way. I am not giving religious terms, because religion is something, the organized religion in my view is where the organized religion ends, spirituality begins. So that's my take on religion, I am saying. So these two types of people exist, and wherever, in my opinion, wherever how you are born, with whatever material you are born with, as your swabhava or a nature, there is a way for you. That is your beginning point. So some people ask me question that we have intelligence, but we do not have bhakti. What do we do? Some people who are heart driven, they say that we have feelings, we are comfortable with emotions, with bhakti or a devotion, but we do not have that. We cannot. We are not comfortable with the knowledge.
They find it dry.
They find it dry.
Right.
They find it dry.
Yeah.
And the person of knowledge sometimes feel that this devotion, not ritualistic devotion,
Right.
the devotion part, the trust part, they feel it's difficult.
Right.
I want to taste the pudding in order to
Right.
open my mouth.
Right.
So both of these are the traits which are the natural traits, and in my view, journey of individuals start with one end. A person with a knowledge will go on finding what is that within us, because of which, what is that within me which is essential, which is non-changing, which is never changing, which is undeniable. So he or she with a knowledge background will go on searching for that. Okay, the path for that person will be to approach that undeniable. Could be neti, not this, not that. So that's the path of knowledge. To arrive at that essence within us or wherever, all pervading or within us. Okay? So the journey could be not this, not this. So that is called as our Advaita, ancient teaching. This is not this, not this. Advaita, not two. Not this, not this. I am not this, I am not this. I am not the body, I am not the finger, because if I cut my finger, I still have that sense of presence. I cut my hand, the sense of presence is still there. If you cut my hand from the shoulder, that sense of presence, that undeniable sense of presence is still there. If you cut all my limbs, the 2 feet and 2 hands, the sense of presence is still there. Yes, I am alive. So to approach that, not this, not that, is one approach. The processes for that person will be different, and the other person who is heart driven, for that person, so for the knowledge based person, the journey is going from something to nothing, because it's a journey of negation. You are denying something, not this, not this. So the journey begins with something for both of them, because all of us are born and all of us are, if all of us are in disease, that means we are somewhere in the something. We feel that I am something, you feel that I am something. So we are on the level of something. So the journey begins, whichever be is your natural inclination, journey begins with something, but the person with a knowledge base or intelligence based input, his journey will begin from something and go to nothing, shunya, zero. And the other person, with the heart driven person, the journey will become something, and then it will end up in everything, infinite. So one journey will go into zero, and another journey will end up into infinite. Now, it's a very interesting thing. I have unfortunately not the toys which usually I show,
Yeah.
but you can imagine a how do I show? You can imagine a circle here. Circle. Usually I show this with a pressure cooker gasket. Imagine this is a pressure cooker gasket. It's a round. So this is zero, isn't it? This is zero. When I turn it, twist it, it becomes infinity. So infinity is a twisted zero. So everything is a twisted nothing. What does that mean?
That both journeys eventually have to end up there, same point.
The same point. So zero is nothing and infinity is everything. So they are not two at all. So how much ever fights that may happen or usually happen between the theist and atheist, the believers or the person of heart, person of emotion, or a person of intelligence, they all the fights are trivial, because both of them are at the something level. None of them know anything, because their journey have just started. So their fights are on a superficial level, on a facial level, on a top surface. When they go and their journey ends up, they reach to their highest potential, I can say. When a person with a spiritual journey of a intelligence, through intelligence, reaches to its fullest potential, it turns it, the bhakti, the highest trust. As I said earlier, one of my quotes, what is love? Love is that urge to merge, is the beginning. It is that love, urge to merge. Can we not see, all of us have got that experience of merging, the physically merging with each other, isn't it? That's the urge to merge. And of course, there is bliss, even though for a few seconds, even though for a few moments. But that is what physical urge to merge. Don't we have that? Yes, all of us, all the sentient beings. Now, this is a physical union. Then there is a union on mind level, a deeper level. And then the last union is on the level of the soul or level of the beingness. So that is what when I say bhakti, I am saying that trust, that devotion. So the journey of a person with intelligence, example in the past, Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. His journey was, he was a person of intelligence. His journey was studying scriptures and then contemplating. Okay? So, knowledge, complete knowledge. The famous famous writing by Shankaracharya, Shivoham, Shivoham. Na, you can, Sanju, put it later that. Not this. Na, I am not this, I am not this, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am not this, I am not this. Na, Shivoham, Shivoham. Okay, so his journey was through intelligence. But when he realized, he reached to his highest potential, the song which came out from his mouth was Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Moodhamate. Meaning thereby, recite name of Govind or God. O foolish man, recite name of Govind and God. Now this is very interesting thing. The man who has denied God in the beginning, all his journey, he has denied God. In a way, he is saying that I am reaching to myself, that which is invisible. There is no God there. So his journey began with that something invisible. When he reaches his highest potential, he is talking of God. So what I am trying to say, that journey, even though at the beginning they look different, they look exactly opposite, but it is a circle, a zero is nothing but twisted infinity. When the zero is twisted, it is infinity. That is, the zero and that infinity, they are same. That is, nothing is everything. So one journey from knowledge to bhakti, to that urge to merge, the final, as I said, and love is an urge to merge, and love is that which prevails after total dissolution. So that is a height, 100 degree of urge to merge. When that happens, 100 degree of merging. Now you are everything. So a journey of a bhakta or of a devotee, journey of a devotee, somebody with a nature of love or emotions, heart-driven person. The journey begins with two, because me and you. For devotion, for bhakti, you need two. Me and God. Me and Guru. The Guru could be live, Guru may not be live. Bhakti can be with me and the sun, me and the moon, me and the stone. Because as I have seen in the past, those who have worshipped stone also have merged with the Absolute. So it's not the matter like whom you get merged with. Whom you get merged with. it can be stone also, it can be your idea also, it can be your imagination also, that something,
It could even be formless.
it can even be a formless. But your 100% trust that my idea of that invisible formless is 100%, that is all pervading.
That is all.
That is all.
I am nothing, that is everything.
That is everything.
Right.
So that,
whatever that everything may be represented
yes,
by a guru,
yes,
living, dead,
yes,
alive.
it can be
It can be
orange.
this, it can be a stone, it can be a god, it
Anything.
can be whatever.
But my idea and my 100% trust that this is everything.
Yeah.
So many people have asked me in the past, like, whom to trust or what to trust on. Where do I put my bhakti on? Where do I give my heart on? 100% of my heart, where should I put it on? So the object of where you are putting your heart on is secondary. It is basically your urge to merge, the degree of your urge to merge, that matters. If the degree of urge to merge when it reaches to 100 degree, and it reaches through any of the objects or the persons or the living guru or the non-living guru, it is all within you that you yourself are boiling with that urge to merge, and through different things you arrive at that 100 degree, and that is sufficient. So somebody who has gone through this heart-driven people, they go to, like in our context here, like Tukaram. So for example, say for Tukaram, like he was a bhakta, like he was a devotee of Vitthala, Krishna. So all his life, what all things he did was just japa and remembering and reciting his name. So his journey was in duality. His journey was in duality. But when he realized the words which flew out of him, which came out of him, were Rama 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 Avghechi Manati Kuni na Janati Atma Rama.
Yeah. So
He's
everybody says Ram Ram Ram,
Yes.
name of a god.
Yes.
Nobody really knows the inner Ram, the inner God.
Yeah. Inner God.
Right.
Rama 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 Avghechi Manati Kuni na Janati Atma Rama. राम हा कालचा सुत दशरथाचा अनंत युगांचा आत्मा राम.
Okay, so Ram is somebody from yesteryears, somebody's son.
Somebody said this is the Dasharatha Putra, that the son of the Dasharatha.
Somebody of a son of some king.
Yeah.
Whereas this Atma Ram
He is Ananta Yugansa.
is forever. And so here, although he approaches from the
Dualistic,
path
yeah.
and bhakti path,
Yes.
finally whatever Krishna Ram, whoever he says, okay, that was then.
Yes.
This is the eternal,
unchangeable Ram.
Unchangeable, and within Atma Ram.
Atma Ram.
Right.
And the last thing what he says, the last two lines what he says, तुका म्हणे जाण, तुका म्हणे राम, तुझा तुझ पाशी.
Yeah. So
तुका म्हणे राम, तुझा तुझ पाशी, पुसूनी घेशी गुरुमुखे. ग्रंथमुखे नाही, हा पुस्तक मुखे नाही, भगवद्गीते मुखे नाही.
okay.
पुसूनी म्हणजे विचारून घ्या.
Ask. Okay. So he is saying, okay, could you repeat that so I'll translate?
तुका म्हणे राम, तुझा तुझ पाशी.
Okay, so your Ram,
Yes.
or whatever name you may call, is within you.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the next one.
पुसूनी घेशी गुरुमुखे. विचारून घे, गुरुला विचारून घे.
Yeah. So you ask your guru
Yeah.
whether this is true or false.
Yes.
Or whether this is the case or not.
Yes, case or not, and trust him. That's it.
Yes.
And you will realize that if that trust is 100%.
Right.
Okay. Another aspect what I see is that so many people, their journey begins with intelligence, which is natural because it is their nature. Why does it that doesn't come to the reach to the highest potential? Some people are studying and going on the name of knowledge, on the name of science, on the name of intellectual understanding, reading, listening. This has been always my inner, I always think about this, like why don't they arrive at something that now know where to go, at that final point. Fulfilled emptiness is my word for that. What one arrived at finally is the fulfilled emptiness. Mind cannot understand this. Mind will say either it is a fulfilled or it is empty. Either it is a full or empty. Mind will not understand, mind will understand whether it is a zero or everything. So that is the limit of mind, one has to understand. When one transcends mind, only then, and only then one can arrive at this point that I am trying to make. So, how much ever intellectual understanding anybody have, I feel that the reason basically it is not getting digested. The reason I found in my contemplation many years ago, that all of us eat food, right? We consume food. When we consume food, that is our act, that is our doing. I feel hungry, I eat something. Tell me something, what do we do after this doing procedure of consuming food? We do nothing. But the secretive enzymes within our body, they are secreted. What do you do for that?
Nothing.
What do you do for that? What do I do for that? Nothing. So we do our best of eating, and then even though we do not know, but there is a trust within us, natural trust within us, that the moment man will stop trusting, man will die. We trust that yes, I am eating, but the digestion process which is happening on its own as a part of nature, some secretive enzymes are getting secreted, and because of those secretive enzymes, that food get digested and then converted into energy, and that's why we are alive. Similar way, I found that those who have been studying scriptures or studying through intelligence, this spiritual knowledge, they don't seem to have getting digested. And that's the reason somebody with a journey on an intelligence path, they end up becoming a scholar. Maybe you can become a professor of non-duality somewhere, but it's not your own understanding, it's the intellectual understanding. You are a scholar. Being scholar and being enlightened, you just cannot compare. One is somebody becoming a sun, and somebody is having all the knowledge and research about the sun. It's as good as that. So as I see that secretive enzyme which our body secretes within us, I compare it with that urge to merge, which I call it as a bhakti. If that element is absent in the person of intelligence, it will never get digested and it will never become his own experiential understanding. Similar way, somebody with a journey beginning with the devotion or with the heart-driven person, at the final point, a sharp viveka, what we call it as a discretion. Discrimination, a sharp discrimination is necessary. That is the height of intelligence. Height of intelligence is discrimination. The intelligence of universities gathered through the degrees is not an intelligence. Intelligence, the height of the peak of epitome of intelligence is the sharp discrimination. Yes, this is this, enough, out.
Okay.
So the man of bhakti, the person of bhakti, the height of it will go, the sharp intelligence will come, sharp viveka will come. So what I am trying to say, the both journeys at the beginning, in the beginning, they look different, but they are not different. They merge into each other. The zero will become infinity, or the infinity will become zero.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure whether this is easy to summarize, but I'll try to summarize. Depending on your disposition, you start your journey. You are something. Yeah. You start your journey either driven by intellect and seeing things for yourself before taking the next step, or you start your journey, even though you may be very intelligent, you may start it driven by emotions, but you're both are something.
Yeah.
You carry on with your journey. Finally, for those who reach stable peace, before you become stable peace, what is required, no matter which path you go on, is the urge to merge,
Yeah.
intense
Urge
to merge. You can call that whatever merging into by whatever name. It could be a stone, it could be formless, it could be a guru living, dead, it could be anything, as long as it represents the final. And you, the small self that is seeking, has that now intense urge to merge in that, whether you come from this path or that path, for as long as that comes in and it happens.
Yes.
That is where both journeys end.
Yes.
And that is where one then realizes that nothing was everything and everything is nothing. Have I summarized it?
Yes. A small point I would like to add here.
Yeah.
In more clear sense maybe, that these two paths, the knowledge and heart, okay, in the past, maybe in many years ago, there used to be people with 100% of intelligence. See, all of us are the material through which we are made. In those days, people used to be of 100% faith, 100% trust, no doubt at all. Or a person with a total intelligence, no faith at all. So that purity, I feel, many years ago was there, or even now must be there, but very rare. What I'm trying to say is that all of us are made up of a combination of both.
All right.
We have intelligence, we have heart as well. Maybe you have more 80% of the intelligence, your driving force is 20% of heart. Maybe for me 80% of heart, 20% of intelligence. What I'm trying to say is that all of us are mixture of a permutation combination of heart and head. So now, in my opinion, in my little understanding, I feel a direct one way practices don't work. Like if a man of intelligence is there, and if I give or someone gives a practice, a spiritual practice, considering that he has an intelligence, and he will give a practice to it according to thinking that he is a man of intelligence, it will not work in my opinion, because still he has got 20% of heart portion in that. So the kind of processes given to the person nowadays is needed, and in future also the processes will be different, totally different.
Fine-tuned.
Fine-tuned, because it is, or you can say that your mind is tuned. Your intelligence means your mind is overtuned, or tuned or overtuned, but your heart is not tuned. So the processes given would be in the future, would be for mind and heart both. And that is necessity as I see it since last 15 years. Okay, one way processes will not be useful, because the portion, every person has got the other part also, even though in a smaller percentage. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.